And Ethan Simmons lines up on the front row of the grid. Aditya Kulkarni second. Booth and Frost, Garford and Jenkins, Hull and Morley, King and Mitchell, McInerney and Harris, and Stiant in the back. And we will race now! Good start at the front of the field from Simmons. Good start as well from the 45. Charging forward, that is Joe Booth. And he's going to try and take on the leaders. He gets past Kulkarni, that's for sure. And Frost gets through there as well into third position. So the 32 of Aditya Kulkarni has fallen to fourth for the moment, but there's still a long way to go. It's a long race. But Ethan Simmons leads the field round from Booth, Frost, Kulkarni, and I think that's Alfie Garford still in fifth position. No, it's not. That's Jenkins. Jenkins has come up into fifth place. Good start from Olivia Jenkins, and she is up for the scrap to try and move her way forward. James Morley's got a good start as well. Alfie Garford has had an absolute horror start. And Jenkins gets on the inside of Kulkarni. So Olivia Jenkins doing a great job up into fourth place. So they continue to work their way further forward as the drivers march forward. But Ethan Simmons is out in front. Booth in second. Third is Frost. Fourth is Jenkins. So, of course, the roll of honour for the females here around this weekend has obviously been very, very strong indeed. We obviously had performances in the past from some great young drivers who have obviously been working very hard. Sophie Lank in 2010. Won the junior final, and of course the junior elite final was won 2 years in a row by Abby Pulling in 2017 and 18. She is now, of course, in the world of Formula 3 and obviously in Formula 4 races as well in Great Britain. Formula 4, I say that she is doing a fine job in Formula 3 in W Series races, of course. Frost has now got through, past Booth into second place. So Frost doing a great job in front of Joe Booth. And it is an absolutely fabulous start at the moment as they continue to battle their way around the circuit. Great performances so far as they continue to charge forward. But this is a very, very tough race, and it's obviously going to get tougher as time goes on. It will be very, very exciting as the racers continue to battle forward. But we will have plenty to talk about and plenty to discuss over the course of these next few minutes. Is there going to be a lead change here on the inside of Simmons? There is indeed. And it's a great run from Leon Frost. So Frost gets through into the position, and Simmons is down into, what is that, fourth position. So the three TWM cards have come through to 1, 2, and 3. That's Frost, Booth, and Kulkarni. A very tough battle. So we are going to have a very, very strong race battle from the competitors as they continue to charge forward. So now it is going to be Leon Frost. Up on the inside comes Booth. And Simmons is going to get on the inside of Kulkarni as they all sweep past Frost. This is all going to open up. Morley's going to get through to the inside line there as well. Simmons getting on the inside of Kulkarni. Hold your breath for second place as Morley gets through on the inside up into fourth place, and Olivia Jenkins ends up in fifth place out of all of that. But Joe Booth is the new race leader. So Joe Booth leads, Simmons in second, Kulkarni, Morley, and then it is Olivia Jenkins from Frost and Garford. For my money, that is 7 drivers in the top 7 that can all win this one. Definitely going to be a very interesting challenge for the competitors. This is an absolutely sensational run from the competitors. A big drive up the inside, that's Garford, who also goes with Frost to get up the inside of Olivia Jenkins. So Jenkins is down to 7th. Here's the move on the inside for second from Kulkarni. Kulkarni gets through into second place. So he feels that he's got a little bit more raw pace than Ethan Simmons to try and get after his teammate Joe Booth, who leads the race up front. So a fascinating battle, and a tough race is in the offing still from these drivers. But Joe Booth has the speed and the opportunity now from Ethan Simmons and Aditya Kulkarni. So Kulkarni originally into second, but Simmons has got him back. So Simmons now into second place. 10 minutes just under, plus the additional lap. So it will be very difficult. It will be very tricky as the drivers continue their surge forward. And still, the battle is raging. But we were going to have a very, very difficult race of it as they continue forward. So Joe Booth, Ethan Simmons, Aditya Kulkarni, Joe Morley, James Morley even, I do apologize, Alfie Garford, and then it is Freddie Hull who's worked his way up into 6th place. Good racing from Hull. as he now comes up into the top 6. Jenkins 7th, Frost is 8th. Then Mitchell, McInerney. The battle's still very, very close indeed as they come down into the hairpin at Kimbolton corner. But the lead is no longer massive for James. I will get there eventually. The lead is no longer massive for Joe Booth. Aditya Kulkarni right in behind Ethan Simmons as they come through Stowe corner. Up the inside, that's Frost. Gets the move on Jenkins, who shuts the door briefly there on Garford. Garford has managed to slip past them both, so that's Freddie Hull she's keeping at bay. Aditya Kulkarni, fastest lap of the race, in 3rd position, tucked up behind Ethan Simmons. So Joe Booth leads the race. Ethan Simmons in 2nd, then it's Aditya Kulkarni and James Morley, 4th position. Here comes Simmons for the lead, gets through on Booth, and now tries to back Booth into his teammates. Knows that Kulkarni and Morley are right there. So Ethan Simmons hits the front once again in the O-plate. So it really is now or never to try and get away from the likes of Booth, Kulkarni and Morley. But they are 3 teammates. They're not going to run into each other. They are going to work together to try and get one over on Ethan Simmons and back him down into 4th place once more. Garford has broken up into 5th place position now from Leon Frost. Olivia Jenkins is down behind Freddie Hull now. Hull has got through. So Freddie Hull working well to get up into 7th position. A very tough second half to the race. This is going to be 7.5 minutes plus the additional lap. So now we're going to have a very exciting battle on the inside. Aditya Kulkarni gets through to 2nd place, passes Joe Booth. Excellent work so far. But Ethan Simmons still leads the battle. 2nd, Aditya Kulkarni. 3rd for Joseph Booth and 4th for James Morley. So this race is still going to have plenty of suspense and drama weaving into it. But now we're going to see what the contenders can do as they rip-roar around the circuit. Ethan Simmons in the lead of the race from Aditya Kulkarni. James Morley is now right in behind Joe Booth. And 5th place, Alfie Garford is catching all of them. So this could be a 5-way scrap for the 3 spots on the podium. And this is for the Junior O plate, so this is a big one as far as the drivers are concerned. They really want to win this one. Aditya Kulkarni has a think about taking the lead from Ethan Simmons. Doesn't in the end. Just trying to get out of Stowe corner in a good position. 5 drivers, all in the hunt. Simmons, Kulkarni, Booth, Morley, Garford. Could go to any one of these 5. They all have a chance and they all have opportunity. And they've all got good speed to make it happen. So this is where the contenders are pushing on. Out of the hairpin at Dan Weldon, down the TKM straight, up to Kestrel in the left-hander. And now the driver's really starting to settle in for a big charge. Out of the hairpin once again, and onto the main straight. Is there going to be a big move here from Aditya Kulkarni? He's certainly getting some support from Joe Booth. This is going to be tough in Stowe corner. Ethan Simmons goes a little wide, holds the car to the apex on the rumble strip, over the curbs, onto the Yumitsu straight. And still no major changes, but now Booth goes for the inside of Kulkarni. So Kulkarni is going to get down to 3rd position at the expense of Joe Booth. Joe Booth doing a fantastic job, moving his way forward. Excellent stuff so far. So really good run, an excellent, excellent job from the contenders as they continue to charge forward. So now this is all going to be about what Joe Booth can do about Ethan Simmons up at the front. So Joe Booth is leading the charge forward. He was leading the race. Now he's in 2nd. Still work to do. Still things to take place. Still a bit more happening. But we're going to have a very interesting second half of the race now. We're going to have some very exciting and contentious battles and duels on the circuit. Freddie Hull of 43.18 for him. Fastest lap. 0.4 of a second quicker than the guys racing in front of him. So he's now really hoping to join this battle. He's got close to Leon Frost. So if he can get into 6th position, which is exactly what he's aiming at now, then he might just be able to join these guys once they start battling. Being in P6 is going to be critical for Freddie Hull, because once these 5 really start racing, he could be in a prime position to take advantage. So here comes the move from Booth. Slides in through Stowe corner and loses the position immediately as the back end kicks out. I could see that coming. Ethan Simmons got the undercut move. He let him slide wide. and retakes the lead. So that backs them all up a little bit. Frost and Hull are definitely going to be a little bit closer than they were before. This is so difficult. I would not want to be Tim Wilson in the middle of all this because the pressure must be absolutely fever pitch. 3 drivers in the top 5, all wanting the victory. A fourth one is in P6, trying to fend off from Freddie Hull. This is not an easy situation to be in at all. So Ethan Simmons controls the lead as they come down to the first corner, but Booth is back on the inside. Is this going to be the lead this time? Yes, it is. Simmons trying to hold second round the outside, but he can't hold off Kulkarni. So Aditya Kulkarni gets into second place, and now he's trying to work with Joe Booth to get away. 3 minutes and a half, plus the additional lap remaining. It still could go anybody's way in the top 5. Joe Booth, Aditya Kulkarni, Ethan Simmons, James Morley, Alfie Garford. One of those 5 could be winning this. Simmons back on the inside of Kulkarni into second place in Kestrel. Gets through, and now trying to get into the hairpin again, and that's Garford. He makes the bid on Morley. So Garford gets into 4th place past James Morley, and that could be very timely for Garford. Stepping up the attack and getting past a couple of karts one by one could make all the difference here. But Frost, Hull, Jakins, Mitchell, and McInerney are not far away now either. So they could have a really interesting race of it now. But this is all about Joe Booth, just keeping it nice and planted around these apexes for a couple of laps more before the real race really kicks into shape. Ethan Simmons second. Aditya Kulkarni is third. Alfie Garford is fourth. Fifth is James Morley. Then Leon Frost, Freddie Hull, Olivia Jakins, Aidan Mitchell, Dara McInerney, Tyler Harris, Archie Stiant, and Charlie King. Onto the main straight again. Now protecting the inside line, that is Booth. He's being very cautious in turn 1. Simmons might try and get the undercut switch to get through. Up alongside in the Willows, he's backed down from the move. He had to there, really. Otherwise, he could have got spat out to the grass. And if anyone makes a mistake here, that's where it's all going to go wrong. Kulkarni tries on Simmons. Gets alongside him again on the switch. They bang wheels. And Simmons makes sure that that does not occur. That has actually dropped Simmons off the back of Booth a little bit. Taps his finger on his helmet. Come on, have a think, Aditya. We've got a long race still to go here. We've still got 1:40 plus the additional lap. We've got at least 3 more laps of racing here. As Garford gets into third. Garford gets past Kulkarni. And Kulkarni is going to come straight back at him into turn 1. Nicely sorted out there. But up to 5th place now has come Leon Frost. Up to the 6th has come Freddie Hull at the expense of James Morley. Morley is down. Garford throws it up the inside of Kulkarni, gets the place. So he's up into 3rd place once again. As Ethan Simmons again charges after Joe Booth. He wants to catch him. And he's not far away from doing it, and he's got time to do it. Just a minute to go. But then they have the additional lap on top of the time that's left. And I think we're going to get 2 more laps looking at the way they're coming through. The track is bone dry, so they're going to get 2 more laps before we get the final lap call. 3 laps to go by my math. And Ethan Simmons closing up on Joe Booth, using the toe to good effect. This is going to be a very tight battle in the closing stages as Ethan Simmons tries to topple Joseph Booth to the braking zone. A little bit too defensive for Joe Booth. That's put Ethan Simmons right back on his bumper. He didn't need to do that. It's just a little bit of inexperience there, perhaps, or just a little bit of nerves creeping in. But Ethan Simmons is all over him like a bad habit now. Here they come down the straight, and Ethan Simmons trying to go the long way round into Kestrel. Joe Booth definitely under some pressure now. Booth is defending big time. Simmons is going to try and get the switchback maneuver up alongside, side by side, down the straight. There's not going to be a lot of room to maneuver. Simmons backs down, gives him the space, and throws it up the inside from a big launch and runs wide. Oh, Ethan, it was a good idea, but it hasn't worked. And he's down to 4th on the penultimate lap. What a mistake from Ethan Simmons. The idea was brilliant, but he just couldn't get the kart stopped in time for the apex. So now it's down to Booth, Kulkarni, and Garford. And it could be any one of the 3 that carries the O-plate for the next 12 months. And Leon Frost has got his way up into 5th position, or is that 4th? No, it is still 5th, in front of Hull, Morley, Mitchell, McInerney. It's a very tough one. It looks like Olivia Jakins has had an off and gone down the order. Has actually pulled off to retire, I do believe. Final lap. Joe Booth Aditya Kulkarni, a bit of puff of brakes from Booth. He's working hard. Kulkarni on the inside. Garford going with him. Kulkarni leads. Garford backs down into third. And Leon Frost is through into fourth place, past Ethan Simmons. So now it's Kulkarni who leads in front of Joe Booth. But can he hold this? Is Aditya Kulkarni going to take both the Junior Festival final and the O-Plate? Down the straight of the TKM, into Kestrel. He's got one more corner to hang on to this. It's not going to be easy. Booth will try. He's going to try and get him out wide. They come off the straight together. It's going to be close, but Aditya Kulkarni's done it twice. Kulkarni triumphant twice.